everyone and welcome to my channel. We are here. We have arrived to the finale of And Just Like That season 2 called The Last Supper Part 2. And to be honest, at the end, I got a little emotional. I didn't cry, but I felt things. I could tell my eyes were watering when Seema and Carrie are in Greece, laying, by the beach. And I watched all through the end of the credits. And, when the seagulls were singing and the waves were crashing and the song was something like, to the rest of our lives, something like that. I don't know, something, what was with that song that like I said, I got emotional. But let's talk about it because we have lots to talk about, especially with the return of Samantha. Was it worth for Kim Cattrall to get that big fat paycheck? We'll talk about it. But let's start with The Last Supper. Carrie, she has this big fancy dinner with a Michelin star chef at her old place, soon to be old place. I really like that they went around the table with each character, because Carrie said, say something that you want to let go of, because she's letting it go of one of the most important things in her life, which is that apartment. So each character said something and I thought it was so nice. Like each word that they said fit them perfectly. And Carrie said, she said just one word, no repeating, and that's it, just one word, don't elaborate on it. But when it came to Carrie's turn, and she said she wants to let go of expectations, she went on and on and on. Carrie, you said one word, no elaborating. But it's such a Carrie thing to do too. But I gave her a pass because she was the hostess. And the way I'm talking about the characters in this video, it's in no particular order. But Charlotte wakes up with a huge hangover after going out with her, with her co-workers. And Harry walks in the bedroom and says, hey, Anthony's coming over. He wants to talk to you about losing his ass virginity. And then Charlotte, who I'm very proud of, is setting her boundaries. She tells Harry, no, you tell Anthony I am not available. And Kristen Davis, by the way, I said it before in previous videos, and I still stand by it. She's the real MVP of the season, especially in this episode, because Harry tells her that he had to get the kids ready to go to school and make them breakfast, and he can do it at all. And Charlotte shuts him up right then and there. She's like, no, you are doing the bare minimum. She's like, what I am asked, and she said, I am not asked to do, I am expected to do all that stuff, being a mom and all of that. And that's what she's basically saying, is that women, we have been expected to do all that stuff for years and years and years. And it's so funny, made me think that, you hear a lot of women talk about their husbands, dads, saying that, oh, he's such a hands-on dad. He does all this stuff with the kids and he helps me out so much. Have you ever heard a dad say that about the woman, saying, she's such a hands-on mom and she helps me out so much and she does all this stuff with the kids? No, you never hear a man say that, because it's expected of the woman to do all that stuff. So when Charlotte gave that monologue, I was like, yes, preach, Chart. And then Naya gets a coveted position at the prestigious American Law Institute. But she's really bummed out because she doesn't have a man in her life. And she says that. She doesn't have a man in her life to celebrate with. It reminded me when Nicole Kidman, she won her Oscars. And I remember she gave an interview, and it was right after her divorce with Tom Cruise. And they asked, how did it feel to win an Oscar? And she said she was really bummed out because she went back to a hotel room alone, and all she wanted was jump in bed with someone and make pancakes in the morning to celebrate the Oscars. And she didn't have that in her life. So I think that Naya, she's not missing the marriage with Andre. She's just missing a partner to celebrate those big moments with. Can I just say that Naya and Chef Toussaint, who is, it was a nice full circle moment, because if you remember him, you have to remember him. He's like the most good looking man. But she met him when she went on a date with herself. You know, she was reading a book at the bar, having a glass of wine. She had her big purse, and he came and talked to her. So Chef Toussaint, he's the Michelin chef that's catering for Carrie's party. And even though they haven't even slept together yet, I felt like they have such good chemistry, unlike Seema and Ravi, which I still don't get that relationship. I'm glad our girl is in love, but maybe it's because they haven't developed that relationship for us viewers, because every time I see her and Ravi, I'm just like, it feels like she had just met him. I don't think we had enough time with them for me to care or believe that relationship. Lisa, as we all know, had a miscarriage, and she has this talk with Herbert in Carrie's apartment, and she asked him, she said, "Do you think I wish the baby away?" And she's feeling really guilty. And it's funny because all three women, Naya, Charlotte, and Lisa, they're all putting their professional lives above their personal lives. I just think it's so funny because with that, it comes a lot of guilt. Shay and Miranda finally have their closure, and it's in good terms, but they're talking in Carrie's kitchen, and I thought it was so ironic that they're doing it there, and Shay is taking shots of tequila, and I thought, isn't that like here and this way that everything started, with Shay and Miranda in Carrie's kitchen taking shots of tequila? And speaking of them being in the kitchen, I loved how they used every corner of Carrie's apartment to have a bit of a storyline with each character. Like Anthony and Giuseppe, they're in Carrie's closet. Herbert and Lisa, they have their talk in the bathroom, and then Shay and Miranda, they're in the kitchen, and Naya meets the chef downstairs at the foyer. One thing that really bothered me, and maybe I'm being picky, was that during the dinner scene where everyone's sitting at the table, Carrie, she's standing up and talking, and then I looked to her right, and I was like, oh, Charlotte's to her right, so Miranda's gonna be on the left. No, Shay's on the left, and then the podcast people, you know, the guy and Smoke, his girlfriend. And I was like, no, it's supposed to be like Miranda and Charlotte, her two best friends, most like important friends. But Miranda's like all the way in the back of the table with like Naya and I don't know, whoever else. Funniest line of the episode, I thought it was when Anthony and Giuseppe, they're having the conversation about Anthony not being open enough, you know, pun intended, to Giuseppe. And then Anthony goes up the stairs and he says, "Stop looking at my ass, it's not on the menu tonight." That made me laugh. I know a lot of people say that's like bad writing, but you know, it made me chuckle. Do you know Sydney Sweeney? Beautiful blonde girl, big boobs, Euphoria, White Lotus. Lisette. When Lisette is speaking, if you close your eyes, she sounds just like Sydney Sweeney. Her voice is exactly like Sydney Sweeney. Now let's get to the most anticipated moment of the season, which was the return of Samantha. And she calls Carrie to tell her that she won't make it to the Last Supper, which is a surprise to Carrie because she didn't know Samantha was coming, but she was going to surprise Carrie. And she said her flight got delayed 3 hours in England, so she won't be able to make it. I know a lot of people will be disappointed, underwhelmed. You know, haters are going to hate. And maybe because they had high expectations of Kim Cattrall's appearance, but because I've seen a lot of interviews where Cynthia Nixon, Kristen Davis, SJP, and even Kim Cattrall, they told us to keep our expectations low because it is a quick scene. It was just a cameo, a quick phone call. They're not even in the same room. So I wasn't expecting much. That's why I was kind of happy. It was nice to see Kim Cattrall back as Samantha, just the way she talked. And, you know, if you're a fan of Sex and the City, I'm sure you were happy just to see her back. And who knows, because the show, big news, breaking news, the show got picked up for season 3. So who knows if they add another 0 or maybe 2 zeros to Kim Cattrall's check. Maybe she will be back for season 3. I highly doubt it because the drama is, you know, between her and SJP. I think it's like Yeah, I don't think they can recover from that, but you know, money talks. Aidan and Carrie, we knew there was trouble in paradise with this whole Wyatt thing, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. So Aidan finally walks into her old apartment, which it was nice because he didn't have any anger or pain in him, and he drops this bomb on Carrie that he has to go back to Virginia to be with Wyatt. They found mushrooms and alcohol in his system after the crash, and Aidan said that he's always been the boys' rock and the boys' support because Kathy is always traveling with the other boyfriend and for work. And you know, the cause of Wyatt's accident was because he wanted to go home to be with his dad. So Aidan tells Carrie that he won't be coming to New York. Get this, for 5 years, until Wyatt is out of his teens, which he means like 20 years old. I did not get that because first of all, the kid is 15. Why not wait until he's 18? Because here in America, isn't that like the whole culture thing? After the kid is 18, it's out of the house, goes to college or whatever. Why wait until Wyatt it's 20? And then Carrie says, okay, that's fine, I understand. You know, she was very understanding of the whole situation. She said, how about me? Like, I'll go to Virginia and go visit you there. You know, we'll make it work. And Aidan says, no, because that would only make me think of you more. This was the biggest nonsense I've heard all season. I don't get it. I was actually really upset. Make it work, kids. Both of them are not spring chickens anymore. Both of them are of a certain age. Why waste 5 years of a happy life together, even if it's back and forth? Especially having this wonderful reconnection, which I thought was such a blessing. Why throw it away and waste it? You never know what's going to happen in 5 years. Aidan might, you know, ride a Peloton and die of a heart attack. Carrie might get breast cancer, not like knock on wood, but anything can happen. I don't care if Aidan said it will go by fast, it's a snap of a finger, even though he didn't snap the finger. I thought it was kind of cute when he did, like, oh, you know, remember when we said that the years that we've been apart went by like this? And then when he said, oh, 5 years will go by like this. And she's like, you didn't snap your finger. And he's like, I snapped it so fast that you didn't even tell I snapped it. And I was like, oh, you're too cute, Aidan. Where do they stand now? It's Carrie single again? Is she allowed to date other people? What is this arrangement? So at the end, Aidan's leaving the apartment, not the old one, but the big one, the 4-bedroom apartment. And Carrie says to him, she points at the apartment and then points at him. And you have to know that this and this was not a mistake. And I felt like Carrie was talking to me through the TV because, you know, I haven't been shy about saying that I thought her buying that apartment that big just for her and Aidan was a mistake. Seema called Carrie and said, oh, let's go somewhere. And she's like, oh, the Hamptons. And I was like, yes, we're going to get that summer in the Hamptons. No, they go to Greece. So Seema and Carrie are laying by the beach in Greece talking about the breaks in the relationship because Ravi went to shoot his film for 5 months. And Carrie's in this, you know, 5-year jail right here. And I love Carrie and Seema's relationship. And I cannot wait to see more of those two in season 3. Because as I said before, the show did get renewed for a 3rd season. Sorry, haters. So here's what I expect from season 3. Get rid of the sideline characters. Shay needs to go. Sorry, Sarah Ramirez, you're great, but Shay needs to go. The podcast friends out, they're done. Please don't bring Lizelle with some, like, Lizette. Please don't bring Lizette with some, like, storylines. The kids need to go too. They can be, you know, show up here and there, but I don't want a storyline with Brady and Lily. Let's focus in the lives of these 5 fabulous women. And I mean 5 because, listen, Carrie, Charlotte, Miranda, Seema, of course, and then the last spot goes to Lisa or Naya. Let me know in the comments down below, who would you keep? I'm leaning towards Lisa because it seems like she has more to work with, you know, with Herbert running for office. She's got the 3 kids, the career, and she seems to be more involved with the group than Naya. Like Lisa, you see at functions, you've seen her at brunch many times, you see them going out with multiple of the other ladies. Naya usually just goes out with Miranda, and she never really socializes with the other ladies, and she was hardly there for season 2. We hardly saw her. I love Karen Pittman, but you know, she's coming back on the morning show, so I'll take her there. Let me know what are your expectations for season 3, and what did you think of Samantha's return? Sound off in the comments down below. Be honest. I don't care if people are honest. I actually love to have the conversation. I'm so sad. No more weekly talks about And Just Like That. Oh, but if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell notification button so you don't miss any future videos. And I guess I'll see you next time.